So, all right, guys, my name is Andrea Rosser, and we are about to do our advanced getting started training. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And first of all, I want to thank you for being here today. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being willing to take your business to the next level. I'm a little bit of a geek, and I love the nitty-gritty details. This makes my heart so happy. So thank you for tuning in and giving me the opportunity to share this with you. And I want to tell you a little bit about kind of what we're going to walk through here and what I envision here. So this is our brand partner timeline. And when I personally get somebody started, this is what I work to do for as they're moving around kind of the bases. If you pictured our business as kind of being a baseball field. So the minute that they enroll, okay, so they just get started, I want to make sure that they are really proficient on boards. I know it's the backbone of our business, and I know that it's kind of like making pancakes in that there's a lot of steps. It's simple once you figure it out, but that first time you're like, holy smokes, there are a lot of steps. There's a lot to figure out. So I try to hold some hands there to make sure that they're comfortable on boards. Next, I want to make their first post with them because I know that when we do something a little bit different on social media, it can be a little scary, right? We're like, oh my goodness, my friends are just used to seeing me and my dog. And if I go post these other things, they're going to be so confused, or it feels really intimidating. So I want to do that with them so that they have that boost to know that they feel comfortable or to help them feel comfortable. And then I may even schedule their first week of posts with them, because then I know that they're going to get paid before they have to go through the scary part of posting again. I'm going to invite them to Partner Co-Nation. I'm going to make sure that they're on Telegram, and I'm going to tell them all about the IPA Zoom. So that's like the minute they get started. Now, after that, once I'm loving on their posts on social media and I'm watching them, as soon as they've moved about 4 boxes, I'm going to make sure that they're really comfortable with that customer flow on, why do we follow up with these customers every single week? Because we might think, I'm just here to sell boxes of drops, but no, I'm here to create raving fans because this is the legacy for my family. Those customers are the future of their business. So I'm going to make sure they understand that. I'm going to walk them through the power of conversion, how to share the slide deck, where to find the presentation video, all of that. So they have all the tools at their fingertips. And then once they achieve ultimate, I'm going to go look in their back office and I'm going to make sure that they've got their subscription set. And I might do it with them. I might do it without them, right? I just want to make sure. I might, obviously let them know I'm helping you with your subscription right now, but I'm going to make sure that they have that set up. And I'm going to tell them about products outside of the drops because I actually don't want their subscription to be drops. What? Why? Well, because they're going to be buying them in bulk. They're going to get them for cheaper in their bulk so they can grab one of their boxes out of their next 10 pack or their next 30 pack. But in their subscription, they can have some of our complementary products that are going to help accelerate their success. Okay. So you can talk to them kind of about their goals. I typically am a renew and, something kind of gal, because Renew is actually my favorite product, and maybe Renew and Everglow or Renew and some, Advantage and Limu, whatever it may be, but I'm going to promote something outside of the drops. And then I'm going to make sure their direct deposit set up because we want to get them paid, right? Why are we here? We love the product and we want to help people, but you know what? We want it to reward us as well. So I want to make sure that's set up. I'm going to make sure they know how to leverage their next order so they can take advantage of new volume bonus. And then once they start a team, I'm going to show them what to look at in their back office so that we can help them have success moving forward. Where do I place my next person? How do I know what's going on with my team? So I'm going to walk them through each of these at different points in their business. So we're going to kind of go over it all right now, but just so you know when we reach out to people about the different things so we don't overwhelm them. So first of all, I want to show you this little start here training. I make sure that before I sit down with my new brand partner, I share this with them. And if you're bored, this is the Slenderize board. If yours looks a little bit different, your team has something similar. So it might be, shared a little bit different, but go look for this page on yours, or you're welcome to use ours, but it's going to show them, it's going to welcome them to the team. We're going to talk about what we do every single day, how to use boards, how to get boards, how to get on Telegram, how to get our team Telegram, all the stuff, right? So it's going to help them get everything set up before you're actually sitting with them. And it's going to take them about 30 minutes to work through all of this. And so I'll just tell them, if we're meeting tomorrow at noon, can you sometime take about 30 minutes today before we meet so that we can, do the fine tuning when we're together, but they get the bones before I'm there. Okay. Because I'll tell you what can get really frustrating for people is when they're trying to install boards and you're sitting there staring at them. They can rush through and they won't watch the tutorials, and then they'll be confused and you'll be frustrated. So have them do that first and then get with them. Okay. After that, I'm going to jump over to the subscription. And so if you're on your phone, you're going to scroll down to the bottom and you're going to see your subscription and your qualifying week. And you'll notice that it's got this little green circle. I almost said button. It's not a button. So there's a green circle. So I know that that is my color week. Okay. I know it's green. Now, when I go click on subscribe, it's going to tell me again that I want green. Okay. So it's going to remind me. And then I'm going to go shop. So I'm just going to click in there and I'm going to shop in my subscription. I'm going to grab whatever products that I want to get to my 100 PV. And again, when I go to continue to check out, it's going to say, confirm that you want green. So you want to choose the closest to your date of your color week. So for me, again, it was green. So I'm going to choose the soonest green. Now let's just say I mess this up, right? I accidentally put it on blue, or I move it out in the forward, a month, and there's a mistake that was made. Maybe even, heaven forbid, I miss a paycheck. Guess what? PartnerCo does not want to have us miss any paychecks. They don't want to take our money. So we can always call and say, help, I messed up. I didn't get paid this weekend. And I think it's because my subscription's off. They will help you get it fixed. Okay. So just know that we can always fix everything when it comes to PartnerCo. Also, there is a button on there that if there is a misalignment in your color week, if you click that, it will sync them up and it will get you back on track. So there's a couple of different ways. I like to call because I'm old fashioned, but you can do it online as well, just to make sure that you're on the right week. Now, when you check out, it's going to look like it's charging you right now. Just know it's not. Well, this one's charging us in the past, but it's going to charge you on whatever date that it says for you in there. Next is direct deposit. And I'm going to add in here that this is banking. So there are going to be multiple steps. Slow down a bit. I like to do this on my computer because I can see a little bit better. It's a bigger screen. So just slow down when you're dealing with direct deposit. We've had people, transpose numbers and do all kinds of things. And then they're upset because they didn't get that paycheck. PartnerCo will fix it. But then they're upset, right? Because they have to wait another week, whatever it is. So just know this is banking. So we got to slow down a little bit and follow the steps. But we're going to go to My Money. We're going to go to PartnerCo Pay, and it's going to open up our direct deposit option. There's going to be other options in here. So you click on this plus sign for PartnerCo Pay, but you probably want to put your social security number, your tax ID in at the same time, because as soon as it hits $600, your paychecks will stop if you do not have this filled in. They're not going to keep your money. They're going to try to email you. They're going to try to get a hold of you. But just to save yourself that trouble, go ahead and add it in there. But we're going to click the plus sign next to PartnerCo Pay, and we're going to scroll to direct deposit. This is what's going to hit your bank account. Sometimes people choose e-wallet because it sounds good to put it in a wallet. No. Take it into your bank account. Let's go get it. You paid. So we're going to click on direct deposit. This right here will be 0 as the default. I'm going to ask you, how much of your paycheck do you want? Do you want 0%? I want 100%. Okay. So make sure you put 100 next to your direct deposit amount. You'll fill in your banking information and you're going to click submit right here. And then you'll scroll down at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see another spot where it needs to say 100%, and you'll click save. Okay. And you're probably going to have to confirm and save because it's banking. So we've got to do a few steps in here. So just be patient, be slow. And I'm going to say, try to do it on a bigger screen if you can, because we don't want to mess any of this up. But again, heaven forbid we do. I made a mistake. I didn't do whatever. Don't fret. Customer support, the numbers on boards and on your product and in your back office, you can find the number. They will fix it, okay? But we'll try to get it right, right? We don't want to worry about it. Now, the next question that I get right after that is, okay, how do I know where to place the next person in my team? How do I know what to do, with my team? How do I know what's going on with them? How do I find my volume for my rank advancement? All of that we can find in the same spot. So I'm going to go to My Money and I'm going to go to volume, and that's going to open up the volume report. And you'll see that you might have 5 lines here, you might have 3, you might only have 1, right? It doesn't matter. It's all going to look about the same, and we're going to deal with it in roughly the same way. So if you only have 1 line and you're looking where to place your next person, well, you got to have the second line. So that's pretty obvious. You're going to start that second line. The second way we can tell is when we look at these 2 numbers, they're always going to be a little bit different, right? One's going to be higher and lower. So you always want to place your next person in the smaller line. So the little clue that I give is red means stop. So it's kind of pink, but we're going to call this your red line. I'm not going to place anybody else in this red line. I'm going to place them in the green line. Now, when you're brand new, your line isn't going to be green yet, right? It might just be white. So don't worry about that, but one will be pink. So just that's your red line. We're going to place it in the next smaller line. Okay. Now, sometimes people say, well, I don't get paid on this line. I'm not going to work with this line. No, 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 no. That just means you don't quite understand our comp plan. You benefit, you need both. And you're going to get paid on, and you're going to benefit from all lines of business in your organization. We just manage them a little bit differently. But am I going to do parties with everybody in all of my lines? Yes. Am I going to support them? Yes. Am I going to show up and help and train and get yes, 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 yes. The only thing that I'm not going to do in this power line is to place my next personal enroller. Okay. I'm going to put them in my smaller line. Now, there's also more information that I can get from this report. So each of these are clickable fields. And if I click on this, it's going to open up a more detail in that volume report. And it's going to show me every single order that adds up to be in that volume. Okay. So if you look here, you can sort by order type. So I like to look at regular orders, not my auto ships, not my subscriptions. Do I love my subscriptions? Yes. And the goal is to have every line optimized by subscriptions first thing Saturday morning, but I'm not going to focus there. I'm going to look at regular orders to see what's going on in my organization. So I click on order type, I sort by regular, and what I'm looking for is the volume. So I'm going to look over here on my PV and see what it is. Now, why? Because I want to know who's playing with me. Who is running the SOG? Who is running the system of growth? And has anybody gotten off track? Okay, so 1,000 PV, she's probably got 2 10-packs, right? She's good. 600 PV, that's a little bit different because is it divisible by 208, 500, or 1,500? No, right? So I might click on this, which I can click on the details and see what's going on with this order. Now, in this case, I know that they got their regular product, they got a 10-pack, and then they wanted to try something else. So they just added it to that order. So that's perfectly great. Now this one though, when I click on it, I see that she actually got a 10-pack and 1 box of drops. So I'm going to call her up, and obviously it's a volunteer army. So I'm never going to reprimand anybody or be rude, or obviously, like, we're all human here. Nobody's going to do that. But I am going to love on them. I'm going to celebrate them. And then I'm going to offer a gentle course correction where I'm going to say, Aretha, congratulations. Looks like you moved 11 boxes. Great job. Next time, maybe hang on to that 11th box till you get 2 more, so that you can order that 4-pack so that you save some money, because you actually spent about $50 extra on that one box by ordering it that way. So I'm just going to love on them and make sure that they know that they have options to save money or whatever it may be in the future. Okay. So I'm going to look at that here. Now, another thing that I look at on this report is I look at the name and the email address. So Whitney, yeah, probably the same person. Kate, Josh, Kate probably doesn't have an email address that calls her Josh Smith. So I'm going to write down Josh Smith as somebody that I need to connect with. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then we have Aretha. So that's probably her account. Now, what do I think happened here with Josh? Well, most likely Josh is somebody that's already Ultimate, and they're placing their next order under somebody else in order to maximize their new volume bonus. So I want to make sure that I know Josh is somebody on my radar because they're Ultimate and they're growing. So I want to make sure that they're getting the help they need. So I'm going to write them down. And I'm going to also look at my striking distance. I'm going to write down Josh, so remember that. The next thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the striking distance report. And in there, I like to sort by the week, okay? And I personally always look at week 3. Now, if you've never looked at this before, okay, you have to start with week 4. But just realize that only gives you a couple of days to work with them. I do these on Wednesdays. So if I look today, then I have 10 days to help them achieve whatever their goal may be, right? Because we've got 4 Fridays to get to Ultimate or get to the next business level. So if I do it on Wednesday, I have 9-10 days, depending on what time I call them, to get them to their next business level. If I wait till week 4, then I only have 2 to 3 days, depending on what time, okay? Still possible. So if you've never done this before, start with week 4 and work your way back. But I really focus on week 3, okay? So I'm gonna sort by that, and then I'm gonna look at their PV and their business level. And I'm gonna write them down in appropriate columns. So I'm gonna have, Ultimate, people that aren't there yet, and then people ordering under other people. So Josh is going to be under the people ordering other people. Madonna, she's a rock star. She's already Ultimate. So I'm going to write her down under Ultimate. Tina, I'm going to write her down under not there yet. So I'm going to put her name and what she lacks. So Tina needs 192 in order to go to Ultimate. Whitney, she needs 424 to get to Ultimate. Olivia's an Ultimate. Stevie's an Ultimate. Dolly needs 500. Cindy needs 500. Linda needs 500. Now, Kate is only business level. So she needs 424 to get to Elite, but she actually needs 924 to get to Ultimate. So I'm going to put that down. Same with Aretha. She needs 1,000 to get to Ultimate. Okay. So I'm going to write this all down. Now, why? Why am I doing this? Well, 2 reasons. One, I want to help them, right? I want them to get to Ultimate. I want them to get maximum pay. I want them to thrive in their business. But then 2, I'm selfish. And every little bit of volume that they add, guess where that goes? In their business and mine. This is my organization as well. So that's going to help me grow my volume, grow my paycheck, grow my business. So it's a win-win. That's what I love about this industry. The only way I can win is if I help you first, right? So I'm going to help them, and that's going to help me as well. So what am I going to do with this list? I'm going to jump on the phone. And I know we're a texting society, but I want to celebrate. I want to get on the phone. I want to hear their voice, and I want them to hear mine. So anybody that is not Ultimate yet, I'm going to call them and I'm going to celebrate where they are, right? And I'm going to let them know the perks of going to the next level. So I call and I say, oh my goodness, I saw that you already achieved business level. That means you have 500 PV. Great work. Did you move those 10 boxes? Congratulations. Do you realize that right now you are earning 20% a new volume bonus? But if you jump up to Elite with 500 more PV, then you are going to earn 25. And if you keep going and get to Ultimate, guess what? You will maximize our comp plan at 30% pay. Would you like that? And they're like, heck yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I go get an action plan with them, right? Maybe we're going to do a Facebook Live. and we're going to, jump on together, and they're going to interview me on my drop testimony, right? Maybe we're just going to do some engagement on there to attract more people to see their posts. Maybe we're going to grab the ladies in their neighborhood, and I'm going to come over and we're going to do a really quick impromptu drop talk. I don't know. We're going to do something to help move more boxes so that we can get them to Ultimate, okay, regardless of where they are. Okay, so we're going to go work to get them to their goal. Now, the second phone call list is anybody that's Ultimate that I have not either. I haven't met them or I haven't celebrated them yet. Okay, and I'm going to call and I'm going to dance with them virtually in their kitchen. Oh my goodness, Chris. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. You realize that you have maximized the comp plan. Looks like you've moved 30 boxes of drops. Talk to me about it. Tell me what's going on. What are you loving, right? And we're going to have a conversation. And if they're local, I'm going to say, hey, when would be a great day for me to come over and we can do a drop talk with your customers? Maybe we can help convert them to join your business. Or if they're far away, I'm going to say, when would be a great day for us to jump on a Zoom together or a Facebook Live, and we're going to do a virtual drop talk. But I'm going to help move their business to the next level. But the biggest thing is I'm going to celebrate them. I want them to know that they are seen, that we are loving on them, and we know that they're doing big things. And then lastly, anybody ordering under somebody else, right? So I like that Josh that we saw just a little bit ago. I see that they are already Ultimate. They're ordering under somebody else. I'm going to call, I'm going to celebrate, congratulate them, and then offer virtual drop talk, in-person drop talk, whatever it may be, to go help them move their business to the next level, right? That's our goal. We're looking to create that next six-figure earner in our business. How do we do that? We just got to keep moving the needle for the people that want to play with us, okay? Now, what does a drop talk look like? I don't care what you call it, first of all. I call it drop talks. It could be a customer appreciation event. It could be hormone and health. It could be, body balancing event. I don't care. Doesn't matter. They're all going to look roughly the same. The thing that we're trying to do here is we want them to be sitting with us in some way saying, I could do this. It didn't take too much time. And I'd be willing to bring my people to an event like this. Okay. So that's what we want them thinking in the audience. So how can I do that? One, I've got to make it fast. If it's in person, it's got to be in one babysitter hour. What does that mean? They've got to be able to drive to your house, see the entire event, snack on any munchie that you might have there, ask their questions, and drive home all in an hour, right? So they've got to be quick because we've got to make it so that they can say, I could do that. I could do that a couple times a week or once a week. That was easy, right? If it's online, we've got to make it maximum 15 minutes. We've got a short little attention span, right? So maximum 15 minutes that they can see everything start to finish. If they've got questions, they can, you can reach out to them after and answer those questions. Am I going to have a huge spread? No. I want it to be, maybe I've got little cups there and they can fill up water on my refrigerator. Maybe you could have little bottles of water if you want to go all out. I might have a little bowl of nuts or something so nobody starves while they're there. If I've got kids there, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop popcorn in the microwave because the kids will love it. I want it and no, it's not on the approved food list. I want it simple, right? It all comes down to simple. The more lavish I make it, the more people in the audience will say, that was wonderful. I loved it. I could never do that. Right. And we want them to say, I could do that. So do I need the top leader? I've got Coach Palmer here. I've got this beautiful spread of food here. Do we want Coach Palmer? Sure. But do I want them at all of them? No, because then I could only have like one a year. Right. Do I want the lavish food? Yeah. If I'm the guest, I want to eat it, but I want it to be duplicatable. So I'm going to make it as simple as possible. But that is really kind of the whole flow for our advanced getting started. So hopefully that was clear, solved some problems that you maybe had or questions that you